So old photos and tweets have recently resurfaced from Tyler, the Creator, showing him in what looks like KKK attire, doing a Nazi salute, social media stuff, is things of that nature. This all came on the heels of D'Angelo's passing, where he shared a heartfelt post about D'Angelo, and then his comments kind of blew up from people being in there, one, not knowing who he is, and, you know, that whole thing kind of spiraled from there. So, as we know, Tyler has built his career on shock value satire, pushing boundaries. It's how he came out the gate. And it's been something that his fans have essentially grabbed onto. But now in today's culture, you know, where the energy is a little bit different, Tyler's energy is a little bit different. So this brings up the question that I have for you guys. Is Tyler, the Creator, being unfairly judged for his old shock humor, or is it time we stop excusing harmful imagery as just jokes?
It's like I saw this backlash when Tyler posted what he posted about D'Angelo. And it was like, your families don't know who D'Angelo is or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, what does that have to do with anything about him appreciating his artist? And then like it goes from that to here's a picture of Tyler, the Creator, in some questionable, you know, attire, mm-hmm. you know, as far as
the ass was out, assless chaps.
I mean, yeah,
that's the KKK uniform.
That's my. I think that's the one.
Yeah,
but it was just like, okay, we're just gonna have to. I'm not gonna say get used to it. Not as far as the content that he posted, but just get used to the fact that like if you said something wild on Twitter 10, 15 years ago, there's a good chance it's gonna come back, and you're gonna have to explain it or apologize for it. You know, I don't know. I've been on, you know, Twitter or X or whatever you call it. I remember Brookins was like, yo, you need to hop on Twitter. This is the wave. Mm-hmm. And so maybe about 12, 13, maybe 14 years ago. And I don't know what I was tweeting because, you know, at that time,
a bunch of swoop.
Twitter was about, this was stuff for your friends. You didn't think this was going to live on and people would be able to take your name and run it through some database and pull up any picture. I mean, at that time, you couldn't even post pictures. Yeah. But I just think this is a weird thing that we're going to have to get used to. It's going to probably happen to anybody that becomes famous and they reach a threshold that is close to what you'd maybe call an A-list. Because when Tyler was just, you know, Wild Tyler, you know, had the Adult Swim show.
Great show.
And
loved it.
You know, I remember he got in a little trouble for like a Mountain Dew.
Smell like bitch in here.
Yeah. ad or whatever. Okay, they kind of moved on. But now that this guy's winning Grammys and he's got, you know, a certain mass appeal, if you will, it's like, okay, now we're going to hold you more accountable for the things that you've done and said in the past. Is it's, you know, like, did I see it and think, okay, that's inappropriate? But like, I mean, are we going to hold everyone accountable for probably their dumbest moment?
I think you kind of have forward. To. You have to in a certain light, man. With Tyler, his whole kind of rise, he wasn't considered one of the how can I explain it? Like for real quintessential rap artist or hip hop guy coming from
He's
Cali.
on the fringes, if you will.
Yeah,
he was never.
He's a misfit. He said like the whole Odd Future situation was like if Wu-Tang Clan were like grunged out but black type shit or punk. I mean, they were skaters. You know what I'm saying? Their content wasn't the same as the quintessential hip hop head or even people that lived in Cali. Like it was different. So he gravitated towards what his audience was. Now, his audience at that point in time wasn't necessarily black, so to speak. I mean, he had black fans, obviously, but I think he was kind of using his shock value to appease them a little bit. And now, and he's always been into black culture, but he tells you who his influences are. But now he's trying to get more so into that bag. He even used to say he didn't like Jordans. And now all of a sudden he's wearing Jordan. I mean, that's something light. He's had questionable lyrics. He ate roaches in a video. Even the Adult Swim show, he done some crazy shit.
Young nigga.
Yeah. What did he had the interview with what's the old dude with the glasses and the suspenders that passed away? Larry King. He had the interview with him where he asked him about pretty much saying that he's like, yeah, I said, and probably offends a lot of people. He was at a situation where he just didn't care, and you can't necessarily give him a pass for not caring at one point and coming to a light and be on some different shit and just say that dissolves everything that he did at one point in time. He still has to be, you know what I'm saying, liable for that energy. And I think what was pissing him off about the whole D'Angelo situation is he realized his fans aren't that as in tune musically as he would like them to be.
Yeah.
Like if you think about, for example, back in the day, I've told this story before. Dr. Dre's production made me a fan of Parliament Funkadelic.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays, I feel like they don't really care about what the influence is. They just care about the artist itself because it's ever evolving. There's always new people to listen to anyway. They're not that into digging into the past. Lil Yachty told you that. He didn't even know who or hadn't heard a Biggie or Tupac album. And he's in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Tyler was upset that his fans didn't know some of his influences and felt like they should have.
Yeah, he had the quote here on Twitter was, what did he say? Tyler took to Twitter and criticized a segment of his fan base he pejoratively called Sunseekers, aka the white fans who were unaware of D'Angelo's legacy.
I'll show you.
Yeah. So a post from the popular hip-hop news aggregator Kirko, not familiar, pointed out that Tyler himself liked a tweet that stated, In has Charlie Wilson, Erykah Badu, DJ Drama collaborations. They still refuse to engage with black art at any meaningful level. Very cannibalistic. So it wasn't Tyler that said that. It was
somebody else, and he liked.
And then he liked it, liked the tweet. Yeah.
Then he followed it up with the Sunseeker situation or whatever. But in reply to him saying that, a lot of those fans start saying, "Well, what about these tweets?"
Yeah.
So they kind of brought it to light and put in pretty much showing newer fans or even black people that started listening to him now, this is what he was on.
Yep.
And I feel like Tyler, the Creator, is a shock value artist, even in today's standards, and he was even more so then. But you still have to be responsible for what you're putting out there regardless.
Yeah. What do you think, Byron?
I think, so you said something a few moments ago about like you digging in the crates to listen, like Dre made you want to check out Parliament.
Mm.
I think there's a disconnection between like parents and their children when it comes to music now,
Absolutely.
where that's not a thing anymore. So you don't, like, children don't sit and listen to music with their parents very much anymore because tablets, things of that nature. Like, so people go off and they do their own thing. Your children go off and do their own thing, so they're not really exposed to what you listen to anymore. And that is what creating the disconnect between their audience, or maybe Tyler's audience, and the music that he listened to. You know what I mean? And the people that are listening to his music and them now. You know, so.
Yeah, I agree with that because I actually got the Parliament Funkadelic music from my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would take, if I got interested in some music, I would have a conversation with my pops and be like, "Hey, do you have this?" He'd be like, "Yeah, I got that." And I would go get it. Like, even Miles Davis, that's how I know about Miles Davis's music, is through my pops. But I feel like just the newer generation are more so in tune to just music, how it's presented. I don't feel like and I can't say that everybody feels that way, but as a whole, it's more so I like the vibe of this artist. I'm riding with this artist, and I could care less who his influences are.
It's not valued in the same manner as it was at one point in time, like y'all say, man, because, you know, it used to be a whole process of going and purchasing and listening to music, man. Now everything is just accessible. You got access to everything at the fingertip. You know what I mean?
So with that, second question here, and I got to comment on it real quick. So when someone like Tyler builds a brand around trolling, such as he has, where do we draw the line between expression and accountability? And real quickly, what I would say is Tyler never hid who he was.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, he has always been who he is. It was on Front Street. It's who he presented to us in the very beginning. He has never not presented, this is who I was at this period of time. I feel like the accountability conversation is interesting because we've kind of been able to grow with Tyler as he has matured, not only as a human, but also musically. And we've seen that. I personally don't feel like he needs to come back and apologize or anything of that nature to things that he was publicly saying in jest or in any type of manner years and years ago. Like, you had plenty of time to address this to him if you wanted to, but at the same time, if you do want to be offended by it, that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like the accountability thing is different because this wasn't hidden. This isn't like something that was hidden under the table and then they revealed this mysterious thing. Like, people, we've known this about Tyler.
Nah, like I agree with you on that point because, like, as somebody that's listened to him forever, some of the stuff he used to say, I didn't take him as him being serious. And this is somebody that's listened to him since he's been out. It was more so, I'm going to just say some shit and you can take it however you want to take it.
And not a lot of his earlier stuff I wasn't like a super huge fan of.
No,
like,
I wasn't.
Every once in a while he would have something that was cool. It wasn't until he kind of matured as a musician that I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Flower Boy.
Yeah, wherever. I don't know.
Or Cherry Bomb.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. But, it eventually became like, okay, Tyler is evolving and I can appreciate that now. So
no, I can't lie and say I've been a Tyler fan this entire time. I put him in the category of a lot of these rappers who I just feel are dope fiends and weirdos at one point. Mm-hmm. And it's been recent, like you said, maybe when he's been a little bit mature, a little bit more aware. Because when you're young, you just don't feel like, oh, whatever, I'll say whatever. I like the whole I don't give a fuck thing that a lot of people are into. And sadly, there are people who should know better and are older that still have that mentality. But that kind of mentality you have when you're young, you don't realize you're going to be 30 one day, and that doesn't work the same. It's not viewed the same as when you're 19 or 20, so I think that's kind of what Tyler's going through now. I've heard him in his interviews be very aware and be very much in tune to what the culture is about, as opposed to just like eating roaches and talking about lesbians and going up and saying wild shit in front of Funk Master Flex and making him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Cue the clip.
Me and Flex looking in the index for buff net niggas just for some hot butt sex.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was not, I didn't really become a fan until like the project with DJ Drama. I mean, I liked his stuff here and there. I love Trouble on My Mind with Pusha T, but that video popped up in my feed, and I realized, oh wow, that's 14 years ago.
Yeah. He always had flashes that were dope. I will say that.
Yeah, but
his collective crew all had dope stuff. I mean, this is the crew that birthed Frank Ocean, Earl Sweatshirt, the internet. You know what I'm saying? The internet was my favorite crew out of Future. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Steve Lacy's Odd Future, but he's in Odd Future, but he was in the internet.
Damo's my favorite.
Yeah. So they've been a collective and have been doing their thing. But Tyler, again, he's just one of those individuals that, like you said, he's gonna say what he wants to say, and he's kind of remained that same type of person, but he has a different view on things, and it changed in his music. It's kind of similar to when you talk about a Childish Gambino. When you first heard Childish Gambino came out with was it Camp or something like that? Mm-hmm. His content was a lot different than what it evolved to by the time Stay Woke and This Is America came out. It totally different sound. When what was it, the internet or
before the internet
because
or something because the internet.
Yeah, that was a totally different sound for him, and then he kind of continued down that same path with being more conscious of his influence and even his culture, so to speak. So I feel like Tyler is kind of going through that as well. He wants to remain true to his culture and what he is, but in the same realm, he's still being the same Tyler. He's just not as provocative as he was at one point.
Yeah.
That's a nice word.
Provocative. It gets the people going, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, sure. I think that's a decent place to stop there.
And give people room to grow, man.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, a lot of the stuff that people are bringing up, he was I mean, granted, I know he was 23, 24.
He was saying some wild shit.
He was, but it was like par for the course.
I was laughing because I was thinking about him and Jared Carmichael, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was that ruined Carmichael's life for a minute. He openly admitted that when he turned down his advances that he was hurt.
He was like,
I mean,
you bitch.
Like, and he turned him down. Like if he approached a straight dude, he was like, fuck out of here. Yeah. Shook ass. Like, it was almost like that. I was like, I shouldn't laugh, but it was funny.
That's the thing about Tyler. We really don't know what he's presenting at.
Yeah.
Because you've never known whether to take him serious or not from what he's saying. And this is somebody that's been listening to
in the index looking for buff
necks for butt sex.
And then he was just looking at him all in his eyes.
But he was like,
yeah.
Why are you looking at me like,
whoa?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Why'd you choose that?
Why'd you choose that? Yeah. Wait. Why'd you choose that?
Yeah, he probably was sweating bullets.
He's like, this is not what I'm expecting on the freestyle.
Yeah, I'm not liking this.
Anyways.
Yeah, man, that's Tyler, man.
Because it'd be one thing if he just said he was going to do that, but he's like, no, me and Flex.
And that was the funny part.
On the internet.
What if it wasn't Flex there and it was Mr. C?
Damn. The plot thing.
Well, he don't like him. Okay, let me stop.
He liked him a little different.
Rest in peace to Mr. C. Let me.
I'm sorry, man.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted a little extra equipment.
All right.